young man in a northern region of Thailand, is known for his bad behavior. He often gets angry easily and doesn't care about anyone, even his family or friends. He likes to scold others and never feels guilty about his actions. The young man's name is Ben. Ben's house is located near an ancient temple. Locally, it's known as the Ghost Temple. The temple has high walls and large trees that cover it. It looks scary at night. People say that the house has a cursed spirit that turned into a ghost and keeps complaining in the area. This is because when they were alive, they committed many sins, great sins, and never apologized for what they have done. But Ben has never believed in this story. One day, Ben fought with his mother severely because his mother warned him about this. He ignored his mother's advice and did something that made her very upset. He spoke sarcastically about the ghosts and demons, saying that they weren't real and asking them not to come and scare him. That night, Ben drove out of the house because he didn't want to stay and listened to his mother's words. On the way, he passed an ancient temple and heard strange noises coming from inside. It sounded like a human voice, but with a hidden meaning. It was a voice of suffering saying, "Help me, please give me some rice to eat." That voice kept repeating in the darkness. Ben didn't care and thought it was a trivial matter to him. He laughed and drove away. That night after Ben went to bed, he couldn't sleep. He tossed and turned in his bed with a feeling of sadness and anger. While he was sleeping, he dreamed of a man. The man was taller than a normal human being. His body was so thin that he could see the bones of his hands, feet, and neck that were unusually long. On the edge of his nose were cracked lips and a large, protruding mouth, gone with the dried blood in the middle of that man's eyes. They were wide open in agony. The tall man said, "I used to be like you, but I have committed a great sin, and now I must suffer in hell. I became a ghost. You will know. Feel my pain soon, if you don't realize it." Ben woke up in the middle of the night feeling cold. His whole body trembled. His heart beat rapidly, and he was covered in sweat. Thinking of the words of the man in his dream, he tried to calm himself down. "It's just a dream," he told himself. "It doesn't exist." But the next day when he woke up, he noticed that his whole body ached. What happened the next day did make Ben feel more and more uncomfortable. Every time he passed the ancient temple, he heard a cry. The suffering that keeps getting louder, no matter what it is, day or night. The sound still echoed in his head, and not only in his head, but also in his body. He started losing weight and felt hungry all the time. No matter how much he eats, his body would never be satisfied. He started looking like someone who is severely malnourished. Friends and people around him started to notice and talk about it. Ben's mother started to worry about him and asked Ben. Ben said that he had seen a monk to make merit and wash away his sins. But Ben was still stubborn. He still thinks everything is nonsense until one night, when he could not stand it anymore. That night, Ben decided to drive to the temple in the middle of the night. He felt that he had to confront with what he saw in his dream. And finally, it's time to prove the truth. He walked into the temple area amidst the sound of strong wind, and the trembling trees seemed to warn him to go deeper. And suddenly the man, the tall figure he saw in his dream, appeared. The eyes of the ghost man were filled with his anger and physical suffering, so thin that you could see the bones, and the cries are like a camera. The ghost said to the man, "You go around the area and dare to hurt others like I used to. You never feel guilty about your mistakes and you will receive the same karma as me." Ben's body shaking. He collapsed to the ground, feeling fear like never before. but at the same time feeling remorseful. He thought of what his mother had said and what he did to others all along. Tears started to flow out without his knowing. "I'm sorry, I won't do it again," he must have said in a trembling voice. The instant he finished speaking, the ghost's cries echoed. The ghosts began to lighten up, and the ghosts' bodies began to fade away, lost in the darkness. He felt as if he had been forgiven, but know that he still has duties to perform. It had to be done to make up for his mistakes. After that night, Ben changed himself and went back to apologize to his mother, and doing merit every Sunday, he started helping others and stopped insulting people around him. His guilt gradually disappeared along with his good health. This ghost story teaches us a moral lesson. We see the consequences of sin and unconsciousness, wrong in the wrong of doing bad things. No matter what, no matter how big or small, it will have an impact on us. The most important thing is to know how to admit our mistakes and correct ourselves by doing good and helping others.